Dr. Aruna Sharma to be able to answer this question. Do you think, Dr. Sharma, that this is, before getting a bill on crypto assets and cryptocurrency, a clarity of thought in the government's mind on what it expects? We have seen a digi-currency or a e-rupee being spoken about for a very long time. Finally, a budget announcement of a digital rupee. I want to ask you, Dr. Sharma, how is a digital rupee going to be different from a normal rupee? And how do you see its utility in India using blockchain technology?
Because, today what has been announced is an amendment in the RBI Act, which enables them to go for the digital currency, which is going to be completely different from the Crypto Asset Act, which will be coming in due course. So when you are talking of digital currency of RBI, it will take a year or so, because India is way ahead on the digital payment, and the printing of currency has anyway considerably will come down. More and more digital payments come, but then it will be a massive reduction, and maybe we will reduce ourselves to only smaller denomination notes, which will be available in the market. Because today RBI is battling with 26 to 29 lakh crores of cash currency, that is the print currency floating in the market. So this will be curtailing. Second, the international trade the exchanges will become much more easy the moment you go for this digital currency. And third, most important is that there will be a digital footprint of every transaction that will happen. So these are the major gains, but it is an evolving process. So by the time it gets floated in the market, it is going to take a year or so.
But just a quick question. Srinivasan here, Ms. Sharma, just a direct question. This 30% tax on digital assets, does that cover cryptocurrencies as well?
See, the crypto has not yet been defined whether it is going to be a crypto asset. And this 30% tax, what you are talking about, is something the moment you define what you mean by the gain, what you mean by asset, because as you do in the securities, it's only when you sell the security, and if there is a gain, it is taxable. So something like that will have to happen. The transaction is not taxed, but the moment you encash it, it should get taxed, ideally. Similarly, when you work upon the exchange, tax on the exchanges, still it requires a lot of clarity, as their income is to be taxed, not the transaction. So, and the indirect tax GST also needs a lot of clarification as you move ahead. But having said that, when you're talking about the digital payment, I'm very upset with the SBI announcing that there will be a taxation on your IMPS transaction. See, the whole efforts were to incentivize the digital payments. This will again disincentivize it if we start taxing at every stage of the transaction. And if it falls on the customers, then it is going to be a real problem as you move ahead on that issue. So that is something which is worrisome, that if on one breath, if we are thinking to go for a digital payment ecosystem, then on other hand, there should be not a small step which is going to disincentivize it.
Dr. Sharma, if I may, just quickly circling back to the question on our digital rupee or digital currency. You are mentioning that this remarkable shift, in payment with the advent of UPI and many of these apps. I mean, it's remarkable the penetration, how it has been in this country. You can go without your wallet out to the market and still carry out with payments. How can a transfer to a digital rupee be any different or advantageous than the present system which is in place?
Well, it is not going to affect the way you transact, but it is going to affect the way the banks function, right? So the impact is going to be more and more on the bank, because your payment mode is going to be the digital payment, which all of you have adapted across and penetrated quite well. And it is going in geometrical proportions. But the moment you come to a digital rupee, the banking system is going to change. The physical bank presences are going to change. The way the bank maintain their accounts and everything is going to change. So there is going to be a major change, because China, which was the first one to go for a digital currency, is still struggling for putting it in completely into a system. So it is going to be a time consuming because many of these things will have to be ironed out.